Mrs. Obama, I finally did it. I accomplished 2,000 subscribers. Time to make a sequel to the highly acclaimed Ocean Man Fits with Any Video Game Ending video. Number 1, Among Us. Ocean Man. Wow guys, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. I am truly thankful that you guys really like my stuff. And by stuff, I mean my meme videos that took me 2 minutes each to make. Nah, but if my meme videos are getting more attention than the videos I actually enjoy making, then that just means I gotta kick it up a notch, starting with my very first ranking video. You guys voted for a top 10 list on Twitter and I will deliver, and I'm really excited considering top 10 videos are the reason why I wanted to do YouTube in the first place. When I first started actually making videos, top 10 lists weren't exactly the hype on YouTube, unless we were referring to Watch Mojo, in which, why on earth would you be referring to Watch Mojo? I mean, come on, it's Watch Mojo.
Number 7. Squidward's penis is on his face.
Now I know you're probably sitting there waiting to hear what I'm gonna make a top 10 about, and all I have to say is 1, look at the title, and 2, I agree that we should waste no further time. My good friend Splodarian Rich mentioned that I should do a top 10 on series that impacted me, and I couldn't stop thinking about how good of an idea that was. Fret not everyone else who suggested topics, this is the first of many top 10s I will be doing. I just think that it's important that you guys know my palette of interests, and to make this video even more specific, it'll be based on video game series. I might do TV or cartoon series or whatever some other time. So what does it mean to impact someone? Well, here's my personal definition I'll be using to rank each series on the list. The word impact itself is a really powerful word. For a series to impact me, it would have to leave a mark on everything I do, everything I believe, everything I say, and everything I make, from how I make music, to how I draw, to how I talk to people, and more importantly, how the series affects me emotionally. That's right, this video is gonna be a real tearjerker, better grab some tissues. And one more thing to note, this list is very, very, very susceptible to change. These series, while they will always be important to me, aren't set in stone, as any new game series that I play could easily jump ahead through many spots on the list. I mean, I'm playing through Persona 4 right now, and I'm just saying, it's pretty good. It's pretty impactful so far. Sit back, relax, and enjoy me whiffing the ass of 10 different video game series for God knows how many minutes.
Tracer. I'm already Tracer.
As much as I hate to admit, Overwatch has impacted me pretty good. Now, I am well aware that this series isn't really in a good spot right now, but Overwatch used to be the king back in the day, and I remember fondly about how much it impacted me back then. Overwatch was so impactful because it was a breath of fresh air from the Shooter Man McGee template that most first-person shooters had to abide by. Instead of playing as Jack Jefferson, an elite battle-scarred soldier from Michigan who loves beer and shooting some ass with his AK-47, also everything is set in World War II. Instead of that, the character designs of these heroes, not you, are so iconic and recognizable, and the voice acting is so vibrant and colorful, topped with incredible character writing that allow these comical but still believable characters to come to life. The gameplay and characters go together so well too. I remember when I first made Lucio, and when I found out that his character had his own music, I listened to that shit while bopping absolute idiots off the map.
I'm gonna push some people off the freaking cliff! God!
I mean, Overwatch was how I bonded with 2 lovely people that would become my bestest friends, so if that's not impactful, I don't know what is.
At least you have some pics.
I put down the wall!
Jesus Christ. Rip headphone users.
Did you see that?
After a while, though, the game started to lose its glitter and glam. Characters got nerfed and buffed to shit, the developers of Overwatch continued to trip all over each other, and eventually, thanks to a bunch of stupid executive decisions, the series is now a laughingstock in the gaming community. So, when I refer to Overwatch, I'm mainly referring to the Golden Age. Also, the cinematics of Overwatch are, really good. They are really well written and animated, wow. Except this one, I don't really like this one.
Never again would I encounter the baby.
Let's go.
Imagine being such a good series that an entire genre of video games is named off of it. And also based off of a lesser and inferior video game series. Oops! Just kidding, Castlevania is pretty cool, but it certainly didn't do a number on me like a Metroid did. This series should not be allowed to have inspired me and my love for video game design this much. I mean, it's just a robot lady who goes to planet and gets power up and kill or save alien? But the deeper I went into the intricate game design, lore, and aesthetics, the more I grew attached to what should be just a generic concept for a game series. Starting with the main character, Samus, she's first and foremost a very needed female protagonist in a sea of male-dominated video game series, and she's a well-written one too. Even a game as early as the 1994 Super Metroid got storytelling down to a T. You may have also heard me mention game design a few times, and that's because this series has it. I've dabbled in video game making a bit, and Metroid was my first inspiration for it. When I think of good video game design, I always envision Samus using her speed boots or grappling hook to zoom through parts of the map you couldn't before, or the perfect placement of traps, enemies, and power-ups throughout each room, and especially the bosses that perfectly test your skills and growth up to that point. Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, and I'm assuming the Metroid Prime series, which I should add I haven't played yet, but from what I've heard is just as good as the original 2D Metroid titles. All were big inspiration for my love for sci-fi fiction and horror, so thanks a lot.
Mining away. I don't know what to mine.
Oh wow, Minecraft, the #1 highest grossing video game of all time, impacted me as a person? I know it's a little generic to put this on the list, but Minecraft is a game that has reached further than the confines of the game itself. The amount of creativity that comes out of a game about goofy ass blocks is insane. Mods, texture packs, adventure maps, animations, all prove that Minecraft is bigger than its own scope. It's funny too, because the base game itself, when left completely vanilla, is still a lot of fun. I have nothing more to say. I love Minecraft. I have 2 posters of Minecraft on my wall, one of which is really old because I got it from a book fair when I was in middle school. Look at this awesome creeper mug that my nephew got me. Look at this unopened Steve toy that I got. Look at my hamster. No, this isn't related to Minecraft, but still. Do I even need an introduction? Now you're probably wondering why me, the Smash Bros fanatic, the epic ultimate King DDD master that has been brought out of retirement multiple times, why I, out of all people, put Smash Bros so low on the list? Well, it's mostly just because putting the series on the list in the first place feels like it's cheating. It's a series that impacted me, about a whole bunch of different series that impacted me. I mean, come on, 8 series that are featured in Smash are on this list, for crying out loud. Not to mention Smash Bros itself. This game is what got me into so many beloved video game series in the first place. I remember being only 5 years old and watching my friend play Smash at his house for the first time. I could only recognize Mario and Pikachu, and all these other characters intrigued me from then on. I remember the first time I went onto the internet to look up Samus game because I wanted to see what kind of game she comes from, and being like, the fuck is a Metroid? I owe a lot to this series concept. Aside from the awesome music, the huge clash of different video game series, and just the spectacle and awe of all my favorite video game icons interacting with each other. And by interacting, I mean beating the ever-living piss out of each other.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo.
This series is almost perfect. Almost. It's funny because the gameplay is honestly the weakest part of these games. Although I have played Smash competitively, my only fond memories of the game is just relaxing and playing with my friends with items on, and also doing that funny thing with the menu where you can make it move around and it would annoy the shit out of everyone. Other than that, everything else in the series is what inspired me to be who I am today. Make sure to stay away from the fandom. Stay the fuck away from the fandom! This applies for basically any FGC, but for Smash, it's a code red, trust me. You will be a lot happier.
You wanna play with your Mario game. I had a big Rames as a big tank.
You already know this was gonna be on this list. I mean, come on, it's Mario. I can't name a single thing this series hasn't impacted. Well, it not only impacted me, but it impacted the video game industry in general. This dude is the literal icon of video games. Speaking of games, the mainline Mario lineup is so consistently good, and you can't say that for a lot of series. I've said enough. It's Mario, he's red, he's Italian, and most importantly, he's Italian.
Damn, you're going straight to hell.
I owe a huge Mongo Dingo Dingus Durgan huge ass chunk of my childhood to this blue dude with a tube for sparking a new sense of creativity in me. I remember my first comic book I ever made, and it was of Sonic and Mario. It was a Sonic and Mario comic where all they do is say hi and then they leave, except it was like 10 pages of small talk. My whole family can tell you how obsessed I was with the blue blur. I have a bunch of toys, video games, and all I would do on my mom's laptop for most of my childhood is listen to Sonic music or watch Sonic shorts and just commune with fellow Sonic fans on the internet. And you gotta understand, this was a different time for the Sonic fandom. I know I ripped pretty hard on the Super Smash Bros. Fandom, but 2010 was the year for me where I really found my place on the internet thanks to my love for the series. Also, this was a time before Game Grumps decided to make Sonic not cool anymore, so there's that. These games were definitely not the greatest, but the memories that come from playing these games as a kid fill you with the type of nostalgia that makes you go, this shit is so stupid. I love it so much, and I'm going to have an unapologetic and shameless attachment to this game for the rest of my life. The reason why Sonic is not number 1 on this list is because it mostly fueled my creativity and I guess social skills on the internet, but the latter isn't really an accomplishment considering I missed out on so many years of learning to socialize in real life, but hey, it's whatever. I think the Sonic series deserves a video of its own. Maybe a ranking video of all the mainline Sonic games or something. I don't know, I'm just tossing ideas. Forget you heard anything.
Kirby is wanted on 4 counts of homicide and 7 counts of grand theft larceny.
I think what I love most about the Kirby series isn't the lore, isn't the gameplay, isn't even the design and art style, which all of these are really good on their own, but I think the music is what really makes this series so impactful for me. Just like how jazz music is based on Persona 5, I think cutesy and chiptune-like music can be described as Kirby-style music, due to how simplistic yet adorably bombastic this music is. Listen to how bubbly and upbeat this music is. It's just so bouncy that Kirby's walk animation matches the music perfectly. Butter building is so beautiful and cheerful in the first half, and then the second half is really emotional and almost somber sounding. And then you fight King Dedede in this huge ass arena, and the music gets you pumped up to beat the big ass belly off this dumbass penguin. Don't even get me started when he fucking puts on the mask and Kirby Superstar Orchestra. Oh, whoa! You got Marks, this stupid little unpredictable asshole. His music goes fucking nuts. The melody is all over the place, and the time signatures are constantly switching, and yet the songs still sound like it's a song somehow. And then there are just some songs that sound so calming, and you feel like you can just go to sleep soundly and safely. All of these songs perfectly complement the level that continue to push you to play more without you even realizing. The story is super simplistic at its surface, and if you just want a short and sweet experience, you can easily just fly through the stages and enjoy the scenery and music without any worry in the world. However, do beware if you plan on digging any deeper. When you realize just how much depth there is to the series, past its cute facade, you will be lost in a spiral of converging plot points and revelations. Sometimes, the dark mystique is right in your face. Other times, you'll find yourself having to dig deeper and deeper into the abyss of Kirby lore, just like the endless void of Kirby's stomach. Anyways, the Kirby series will always be one I hold close to my heart due to the creative range that it has. All these games play similarly and almost samey to a fault, unfortunately, but still somehow I sit here waiting patient and excitedly for where the pink puffball is gonna go next. The Mother series only has 3 games, but there's one in particular that definitely changed me as a person, and that is Earthbound. No other series on this list feels as personal and special to me than Earthbound. The fact that the Mother series isn't even that well known somehow makes it even more impactful. My favorite genre is one of kids facing great big conflicts beyond their comprehension, and Earthbound is definitely that. The best thing about the game is how much it leaves the audience to imagine and interpret. Look at these cool ass battle animations. They could have easily just made a fire sprite to indicate that Paula is using PK Fire, but instead this is what it looks like. It's so cool how simple yet effective it is to take some details out and let the player fill in the blanks. The reason why there are countless art pieces, animations, and fan games is because the series leaves so much open while also being comprehensible enough not to leave the player to do all the work. What a really solid series. It's going to be really hard to describe the brilliance and grandeur of the Legend of Zelda series. The music, try not to get serious songs stuck in your head challenge, hard, 99% will fail. The world building, the characters are all so memorable once you've played a single one of these games. The land of Hyrule itself has been in the majority of Zelda games, but each time you explore it, there's always a major twist that makes exploring the same old land more exhilarating each time. In Link to the Past, there's regular Hyrule, and then there's a darker and harder version of Hyrule. Hope you got a boat, cause Hyrule is flooded in this game. Hey look, it's the regular old Hyrule, and hey, who turned off the lights? In this game, Hyrule hasn't even been established yet. The mere concept of three mainstay characters, or well, sometimes in Ganon's case, living in different reincarnations, fighting different battles, and still being destined to reunite at the climax of every adventure is just so... Oh, stop! The supporting characters that accompany Link are always so bursting with personality. Navi, Impa, Tattle and Tail, the Red King, Midna, freaking Fi is such a captivating character, and her whole shtick is that she talks and acts like an emotionless robot. Nothing on this list, not even number 1, can even rival the sheer amount of mystique and legend that this series holds. I said Mario had consistently good games. Well, Zelda has consistently good games and amazing stories to tell every single time. To me, The Legend of Zelda isn't even a game series. It is, and always will be, a phenomenon. But before we get into the number 1 spot of series that impacted me, I'd like to go over some honorable mentions because I know the title and topic of this video can be a little confusing. This is about series that have changed me as a person, and while I praise a lot of these series as if this was a top 10 favorite games list, the whole point is to discuss how these series have impacted me. And just because something isn't on this list doesn't mean it hasn't changed me or impacted me in some way. Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Klonoa, Animal Crossing, pretty much anything that's Nintendo at this point, but I'm sure you've already guessed that. Freaking Roblox has somehow impacted me. I don't know if it's for better or for worse, but it's undeniable. Video games are important to me. Way more important than it should probably be for someone. And one video game in particular perfectly encapsulates everything that I love about video games. Sonic the Hedgehog has impacted me the most creatively. Zelda has impacted me the most in terms of spectacle and awe, but nothing has ever impacted me this much emotionally and just in general than Undertale. And the funniest thing is, I do not own this game. I haven't even been able to play it. When Undertale first came out, I couldn't help but watch YouTubers play through it. Watching all of the events unfold in the series and the different story beats, jokes, and morals, I really do wish I could go back in time and play the game and experience everything myself. But I was 16 at the time and never really expected this new game to hit me as hard as it did. And it still somehow did. If you haven't played Undertale or even Deltarune for that matter, please don't make the same mistake I did. Experience this game for yourself and enjoy every last second of it, because when you finish playing it, you're just gonna want to go and experience it for the first time again. Undertale has made me into a much better, more understanding and sympathetic person. I won't even care if I don't ever get to own this game. The things that this series has already done for me will never falter. Undertale has allowed me to not be afraid of who I am and the things that I like. It's the reason why I can look so many people in the face, friend or not, and say that I love the Sonic series, I love Kirby, I love Roblox, okay maybe not that one, I love Undertale. I hope you guys enjoyed my epic list that will most likely become outdated in the next year or 3 because Roblox 2 might come out or something. I can't thank you guys enough for 2,000 subscribers. It is a small number compared to a lot of other YouTubers, but I'm still glad I made it this far. That's enough soapiness for me for one video. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10. There are many more to come in the future.